What's up, YouTube? This is CJ.
And Sarah.
It's a Wednesday, and it's time for another
Keto Conversations.
All right, let's get started. I'm going to start this video just totally off script. So we do these Keto Conversations every week. And, sometimes we're more prepared than other times. And then there's other times when we think of a topic just before we start.
Which is true of a real conversation.
Yeah.
If you think about it, you don't want to be thinking about what you're going to be saying when the other person's talking.
So these aren't really scripted. Maybe I should say that. They aren't scripted at all, really. We kind of have an idea a lot of times, and then we just start talking.
Yeah.
So,
which would be like if we were actually having a conversation with you. If we were just sitting around having lunch or something and we just started talking about keto.
About keto.
That's
right.
how we want it to be.
Yeah. Yesterday I mentioned something about how I wanted to kind of recommit to some of the, I guess, basics of keto.
You used the term tune-up.
Tune-up?
A keto tune-up.
I did?
Like
okay.
When you take your car to Jiffy Lube or somewhere else and they do a tune-up on it, they change the spark plugs, they tell you if the filters need to be done, that kind of thing.
Yes.
To keep you running optimally.
Yes. And so that's what this Keto Conversations is about. It's a keto tune-up. And it's,
so basically just a couple of points that each of us would like to work on in the next couple of months to tune up our keto.
Yes.
To optimize our keto.
And don't forget, we do keto as a lifestyle. So we're not just doing keto to lose, 50 pounds or 100 pounds. I mean, all that's great. I still want to lose more weight, but we live keto as a lifestyle every day. So that is our perspective. That is how we look at things. And so for us to talk about a tune-up is actually not that unusual for us because we live keto every day, 365 days a year, 24/7. So,
and we're not going to stop doing keto just because there are a couple of things that we would like to maybe optimize.
Yeah, exactly. So, for the last, month or two, we've been talking about this whole moving thing. I think we beat that to death. So I don't think we could talk much about that. We have moved. We're in one house now. The house is great. Sarah did an awesome
We're moving
job.
our stove.
Yes,
hopefully tomorrow.
We're moving. We're relocating our stove, so that microwave will go away, and but we're moved in one house. We're all
it's more to make our filming a little easier, having things the way we'd like them to be so that we can set up our tripods and things like that.
Yeah, so we're trying to optimize our kitchen space the way that we have it and make it work so that we can
make it easier for cooking too, just when you're not filming.
Yeah, but we've moved, everybody's adjusting. My daughter comes back this week. She hasn't been here for a bit, and so she'll be back into the fray for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we'll just figure out what we're going to do. So anyway, so that's the moving update. Probably won't ever hear about that again.
I can't guarantee it.
Unless we move again.
Oh, we found the other hinge too.
Oh yeah, I don't know if people remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my vintage cabinets that Sarah talked about, we found a hinge, and I had been delaying putting on a new hinge because I knew the hinge would show up. And then I finally gave in and put a new hinge in.
It was in the back seat of my car
a new
in a bag.
hinge on, and lo and behold, just like I thought.
But we learned a new skill. We learned how to put on a new type of hinge. So it was good. And we figured out how to do it on YouTube. So
yes.
It's the circle of life.
Yes, we watch YouTube for everything. All right, so back to our keto tune-up. So I'm just going to start. Some of the things that I wanted to kind of recommit to is, for me, and we've talked about this before on our channel, tracking versus not tracking. And when I started keto, I was tracking. I tracked on using MyFitnessPal, and I had a streak going of 498 days at one point. And I just had another streak that I broke recently of over 400 days. And so I'd like to start back tracking my macros on keto. That's just me. That's just how I like to do it. I've always done that. I've actually done that before we started doing keto.
Yeah.
I used to track macros when I just was doing counting calories.
Just seeing a dietitian, they told you to track the food.
So I'm going to recommit to tracking my food using some type of app. I use MyFitnessPal and have a premium membership, but I might move away from that and do something else just to see what else is out there that might help me. So what else? What are you planning on doing?
My biggest one that I would like to work on is trying to refrain from having dessert all the time. I've gotten into a bad habit because it's summertime, and I've been having fruit a lot. Berries, especially. Yes, it's low carb fruit.
It's lower carb fruit, but
it's still fruit, and it's easy to start that carb creep. It is summertime. Those kind of things are plentiful. Whether you follow a low carb, paleo, most low carb diets, think fruit in season is appropriate, but regardless of that, it still is something that I don't need to be doing as often as I have been doing. And so that's something that I would like to personally work on. And just, it's really easy for me, especially to get into the habit of feeling like I need something sweet to finish off my evening meal.
Yeah.
And it's just dinner. It's just at dinner time that I have this feeling of, my meal's not finished unless I have a little something sweet. And so I need to get past that. I know it was something that I really concentrated hard on giving up when I first started keto. And I want to go back to that where I don't have the feeling anymore after an evening meal that I need to have something sweet.
Yeah, and I'm probably a bad influence on that.
Yeah, you totally are.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm a snacker, and that's something that I'm going to commit to not snacking as much on keto. We've made videos about that, so for me it's an ongoing thing. And I'm not talking about I'm snacking on things that you can eat on keto.
You're eating keto foods.
I'm eating keto foods, but I feel like that I'm snacking too much because it all adds up. I'll tell you a funny story. At my office, I'm the only one doing keto, and but when we have staff meeting, they bring out all this food and we take jar of mixed nuts from Costco, and those things are addictive. And
nuts in general.
And so I actually bought a jar to replace some that we had gone through because I kind of felt bad that my boss is always shelling out $17 to feed us all, but then what I had to do, because I was eating too many of them, I had to put them in her office to get them away from me because nuts for me is a trigger food, and once I don't know if it's the salt and the nut, I don't know what it is, but I just go crazy.
I think it takes the place of like chips and crackers and maybe some of the other crunchy, salty foods that you used to favor when you were a carb eater.
Maybe so. So I know the other day I caught myself and I said, you know what? I took this big thing of nuts, put them in my boss's office drawer and I said, okay. And she kind of looked at me funny, and I said, I need these to stay here.
I need you to babysit these nuts.
Just keep these. And I went in, so today I kind of recommitted, starting today. I went and got some nuts one time, and that for me was a victory, that I didn't go in there multiple times.
Baby steps.
Getting nuts. And so that's like you said, baby steps. So for me, I kind of piggyback off what Sarah said. I need to cut back on the snacking and the after dinner feeling like you have something sweet. I need to cut back on that as well.
And then I think we both want to talk about exercise, because I think that we both want to start incorporating it. For me, exercise is easiest for me to do on my lunch break at work. I work at a middle school in the middle of the night, and I generally fast at night. If I eat in the middle of the night, then I'm usually tired and I need to stay awake all night. So I usually will take my designated lunchtime and exercise instead. And because it's a middle school, they have exercise equipment there. So, and because I've been off for the summer, that's not been happening. So I would like to recommit to exercising at least several times a week. Nothing major, nothing, hardcore, but definitely body movement, some body movement again. And not because I believe in calories in, calories out or anything like that, but just I do believe in the value of exercise for your bone mass, your mental health, your cardiovascular health, all kinds of other reasons, just because it's good for you.
Yeah, and I can piggyback off of that as well. I've been talking about wanting to exercise for quite some time, and I need to be careful how I say what I'm about to say. We've jokingly talked about fixing up our garage so that we have a place to get away, and
which does not mean that we are not getting along
yes,
stellarly.
We're getting along,
but everyone needs personal space, especially
Yeah.
because both of us are introverts.
Yeah.
And so personal space is important, and trying to get that with a family of 5 and under 1,000 square feet is kind of difficult.
Yeah. And so, but anyway, my gym stuff, which used to be in the house, went out to the garage.
Yes.
And so I'd like to get that area fixed up and be able to go out there and do weights, and because I got all the equipment, I just need to make the time to commit to doing it. And so I'm just feeling like it's time to do it.
Move.
I just feel like it's time to do it. It's really got nothing to do with getting away from.
Well, I mean, we've even talked about maybe starting an evening walk. Just the two of us.
Yeah,
so that would be time spent together, but it would still be moving.
Yeah, I just feel like it's time to start moving again and doing, doing
You
something.
feel a little stagnant, not having something.
I just feel like that. So the whole thing about fixing the garage up to get away is a joke.
It's a joke.
Sort of. But anyway.
Everybody needs somewhere to go.
Everybody needs space,
Yes.
right. So anyway. All right.
So I think the third point that I wanted as a personal goal is, and it's small, but is trying to make it a goal to prepare my own condiments. I know that we recently had a video about a mayonnaise preparation, and we eat a lot of salads on the ketogenic diet, and I know one of our favorite dressings is a prepared blue cheese dressing that you get in the refrigerated section of the store, and it's very good, and it's low in carbs, but it still has canola oil in it. It still has a little bit of sugar in it. So I would like to make it my goal to try and stay on top of making my own condiments, so that everything that I'm putting into my body for the most part is something I've made and I know the ingredients in it. So
yeah, and that's something you have to commit to, and it takes a little. It's easier to go and just buy that stuff off the shelf,
of course,
but and that's why we all do it. Mm-hmm. But again, you're thinking long term for your health, and so of course I'm gonna be supportive of that.
Well, and I've heard people say that things really turned around for them, or they lost like a surprising 5 or 10 pounds when they started making their own salad dressing. Because if you're eating a lot of salad, like most of us probably do on the ketogenic diet, but you're putting a soybean oil based inflammatory dressing with maybe some hidden sugars and things like that on your salad, then maybe it's doing more harm than you think it is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just a thought, and this is just a personal goal for me. That's not you all do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
but this is strictly our tune-up.
Yeah, and that's what this is about. This is just things that we've been thinking about for us. But
it gives you the opportunity to think about things for you.
Right. If it triggers something in you and some things that you need to tune up on keto, then hey, help join us, or
that's why we have this kind of
doing
conversations.
your own thing. I think for me, one of the things I'll do a little shout out. Mercury Fireball.
Mary.
Mm-hmm. They're doing this Vlogmas thing. I think that's what it's called.
I can't be Vlogust. Okay, because Vlogmas is Christmas.
Yeah, it's Christmas. I'm sorry.
A couple months away, please.
Vlogust, where you're vlogging every day. And I know one of the things on her thumbnails is, I think it's recommit, reaffirm, and there's another R. But it's kind of along the same lines. It kind of inspired me with this whole tune-up thing as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure that seeing those thumbnails
made you think about some things you wanted to
as well. Yeah.
To alter.
Yeah.
To work on.
Yeah.
This, like we've discussed, this is a lifestyle. So you're a work in progress. You're learning new things. You're finding out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Maybe going back to the beginning of when you were newly excited about keto can sometimes help.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think one of the things I'm going to recommit to is intermittent fasting. And this time doing it with, I guess, a twist for me, because I always did intermittent fasting and still had bulletproof coffees. This time I want to do intermittent fasting. So basically I'll stop eating at about 7:30, and then I'll eat again at about 11:30, 12 o'clock. But if I have a coffee, it won't be a bulletproof.
It'll just be a regular coffee.
It'll just be a regular coffee. I'm going to try to cut back on the sweeteners, but it won't be buttered. It won't be have MCT oil
or coconut oil.
It might have a splash of half and half or heavy cream, but I'm going to stop the bullet just to see what happens, because I did do that one time, kind of just out of not a mistake, but just because of vacation, and it was actually because I actually lost quite a bit of weight during that period when I stopped the bulleted coffee. So I want to try that again.
You might be getting more fat than you actually need.
Yeah, but for me again, that's part of the whole tracking thing for me. I'm big on numbers. I'm one of the people who will sit down and read our YouTube analytics and get like jazzed about it. So I'm big on numbers and data.
That's your marketing degree at work, I guess.
I don't know. But I like numbers and data and looking at trends, and so for me to track is just part of who I am and what to do. But I want to recommit to intermittent fasting just because I like it. I liked it in the past, but I do want to see what it's like to do it consistently, long term, without the bulleted coffees, and see what happens, physically, especially with adding all these other things too. So, yeah. You got anything else?
No, I think we covered it all.
Yeah. So
Be sure and comment. Let us know if you are wanting to do something like this, and maybe what you are interested in tuning up.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be
on
good.
Your keto.
It'd be good to hear what people
Share
have to
with
say,
others.
share with others. Because we actually do learn a lot from reading other people's comments. I'll tell you one example. We did a video about our carnivore experience, and we've had some good reaction to it. We've had some mixed reaction to it, but it was our experience. But we've actually, some of the comments from people who sound like they're way more experienced with carnivore than we are, some of it has been really positive as far as them kind of laying out things that we maybe could try the next time we try carnivore.
Yeah.
And that's cool. It's like, wow, okay, well, never thought about that. You know, and so we appreciate the comments. We appreciate hearing from you. And so if this has inspired you to think about tuning up some things on, your keto diet or keto lifestyle, then let us know in the comments below. So if you're new to this channel, these are our Keto Conversation episodes that we do every Wednesday. We do new recipes on Sunday. We're going to be working on a new recipe this week. You want to tell them what it is?
Yes.
Okay. What?
So we had a very lovely subscriber named Harold suggest that we do a Salisbury steak. So I took his contribution under advisement, and I said, okay, let's do it. And then when I was researching Salisbury steak, I found out that the physician it's named for was actually a huge proponent of low carb. So I thought,
yeah,
how
you were reading that to me last night, and I was like, wow.
So he should have a steak named after him. He should have a dish named after him, and we should prepare it on a low carb channel, don't you think?
I think I should have a dish named after me. So, anyway, we're enough. We're done jibber jabbing for the night. Like I said, we do the recipes on Sunday. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. We'd love to hear from you. And thanks for watching CJ's Keto Kitchen. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You look scary.